Hey everyone, welcome back to another video in my PrimeXBT trading series. It's gonna be a nice simple video about how I like to draw trend lines. Now, there's a million different ways to do it. I really don't think any of them are right or wrong, as long as you follow your own rules or follow the rules set by whatever strategy you're following. So I've been doing this for quite a while now, for multiple years. I have rules that go along with it, and I figured I would share it with you guys so that way you understand more about what you're seeing on my charts when I post them online. Real quick, before we get going, I just want to give a shout out to PrimeXBT. They have a great trading platform, a mobile app, and if you sign up with my link below or on my pinned tweet on Twitter, you can get up to a $7,000 Bitcoin deposit bonus. And yeah, you guys, I'm ready for this video. I really think you guys are going to enjoy it. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube before we get going, and let's get to the content. All right, let's get into trend lines, everyone's favorite topic. And I have two beautifully drawn candle bodies here by Vincent Van Gooner. And you can see when I draw trend lines on my candle bodies, I go through the corners. Okay, just like this. Go through corners, go through corners. All right, so this is how I draw it down here. And of course, we'll get more in depth. Now, I still will use wicks for my analysis, and sometimes I will use wicks when I draw trend lines if I'm going for maximum touches. I will talk about that in a little bit. But the basic premise of my trendline strategy is I go for bodies only, and I find that it's very accurate a lot of times. Okay, so let's just go and see if we can find some not choppy price action here. So here's how I would draw a trend line on these bodies right here. Okay, I would put it through the base here, and you can see that we have two breakdowns and a retest. All right, and my key here is I can't, for the rules of my trend lines, I can't have two candles close above. So if I drew a trend line like this would be invalid per my strategy, because I have three trend line closes, or sorry, three candle closes above my trend line. That is a no-no. This trend line is invalidated per my rules. Okay, now could I draw it here? Yes, this is sloppy. I wouldn't technically draw it like this, but I could draw it here because I don't have any closes above. Okay, so this is just for purposes of me drawing them. So as you can see here, if I go through the base here and I go through a base here, okay, you can see that I have no close. I only have one close below. This would be a deviation, maybe a wick on another time frame, and therefore this is still a valid trend line for me to have. All right, similar over here if I was doing it like this, okay, through the bodies, you can see this is just a deviation, and it works out really well because you can see almost how perfectly this touches here and almost here as well. So if I was looking to enter on this trend line, you know, maybe I would get a good entry right there. I also use this for patterns and things like that as well. You can see here, I could have drawn my trend line like this, and you see that I have one breakout above. I need a confirmation to see upside there, and I did not get any confirmation of a second close, which is why we sell off. And then I get one close above, not a second close below, or sorry, not a second close above, and you can see what happens is we actually get this retest of my trend line and break lower. And we're kind of seeing the same thing right now, is a retest and a break lower. Okay, so very simple. That's how I draw. It gives me some very accurate entries later on. I'll see if I can find a good example here. Here's how I would draw this. Okay, see, I'm going through bodies here. Okay, body, 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 and we actually end up having a rising wedge breakdown here. All right, and you can see that it gives me a very nice entry on a retest. And the reason I do this is because I can catch breakdowns earlier than a lot of other strategies. All right, because if I'm using wicks here, you're going to see that my breakdown doesn't actually happen until here. So I'm getting a better risk to reward, and I'm getting breakdowns earlier on. And that is the whole reason I like this strategy, because it's given me almost my maximum risk to reward levels for entering trades. because realistically, if this goes any higher here, it would be invalidated on both levels, but I'm getting very close invalidation on this rejection. All right, here's another quick example. I would draw it just like this. All right, I'm gonna go through this body here and through this body, and you can see I've got multiple rejections here. And I get one close above, I get almost a retest, which retests my EMAs as well, and continued upside, okay? So if I was drawing it based on wicks, then you could see, again, I would get a very late breakout, and I would not really be able to capture much of that move. Not only that, you can see we have another little deviation here, and a lot of times these deviations can end up being good trades. So I get a quick deviation here, it goes back above, and maybe on a lower time frame, I could catch this little flip here for a trade, or even this little retest. So I really, really like this strategy. Again, I have to have I can't have two closes outside of my trend line or else it becomes invalidated. Okay, so when I'm drawing them, I have to make sure that I'm not drawing them with two closes outside. Okay, so like this trend line would be valid until here, and you can see it becomes invalidated. But what would happen is that I could actually get a fake breakout here, and I could, find a different strategy. And I actually have videos on identifying fake breakouts. So I'll post that one above. It's a really good video. Make sure you watch that, because either catching it here or full confirmation here, you would get a really nice trade on that, just a momentum trade, okay? So again, this strategy revolves around candle closes, okay? You could see a few times already in my examples that we would not have closes above or below my trend lines. So I have to be disciplined if I'm trying to implement this strategy and really rely on my closes. Now, of course, it's not 100% effective, nothing ever is, but over time I found this to be very, very, very reliable strategy. And a lot of times, you guys, I just use these for momentum-based plays as well. So you can see here, okay, I've got if I put these really tight with all of these candle bodies, now it's kind of difficult, but see how tight this is, but I'm getting touches all over, and I've got no two closes outside. So get one close outside finally, I could try to catch this retest and catch another move. Now, of course, it ends up breaking down, but from a momentum perspective, I catch a nice early breakout. And if I'm doing pattern-based targets, you can see that I actually hit this target for this trade on the dot. So that's where I would close anyway. And again, if you know patterns, a falling wedge, you go from bottom to top, bonus content here, and your breakout point is going to be your target from that same distance. So I do use this strategy on all time frames. And sometimes if it's kind of difficult to decide where I'm going to actually put the trend line, I'll see which area has the most touches. Okay. And actually, this is pretty clear here. You can see that everything's perfect here. I'm using candle bodies down here, and we get a breakdown and a retest, and it goes lower. So that gives me a nice early entry rather than if I was using wicks, because I don't get quite as many touches. And what I found out is a lot of times using candle bodies, I'm getting a lot more touches on trend lines, and the more touches, the more relevant it is. So I really want to find a good example of like using candle bodies and wicks, but sometimes it's kind of hard. But the key with trend lines is I really like to get the maximum touches I can. So if you could see here, this trend line actually still is valid per my strategies. And if I have it drawn like this from here, it's actually going to hold up very well. And you can see that almost all of these wicks are perfectly back above or below. And so remember, you guys, you're not trading against as many humans as you think you are. You're trading against a lot of algorithms and bots. So they don't care what a trend line looks like, right? They just focus on levels on the chart. So a lot of times these trend lines are hitting key levels on the chart. And like I said earlier, look at this nice deviation play. We've got a deviation down here. We have one close below, this close back above. You could get a very good risk reward trade here on that deviation. It also is a bullish engulfing candle. So if you're playing candlestick patterns too, okay. But you could see here, if I'm buying this trend line, it would be working almost every time, and we're getting a lot of wicks here. All right. And then now it finally breaks down, and that's kind of the nail in the coffin. Now, personally, I like to draw it a little bit more like this, Okay, more at the base of this candle. And the base, if I go through the base of this candle and this candle, you can see how this wick touches perfectly. All these candle bases hold perfectly. And then I get that nice little peak break, the peak breakdown here. Just this nice little one, just a slight breakdown, a retest, and it goes lower. All right, so here's a decent example of kind of trying to figure out if I should use candle bodies or wicks, okay? And if you notice here, I can get max touches on this trend line by just adjusting it slightly, okay? Now, originally I would probably draw it like this, which is totally fine and valid, and it actually is gonna give me this breakdown here, okay? But if I adjust this to getting maximum touches, you can see I get a touch here, okay? And then I slide down here and I get a nice little nick here, okay? And a tap here, and a really clean hold here as well, and then some further little taps. And what do you see? This gives me like a perfect retest up here, like picture perfect for a short entry, and that's maximum risk to reward basically. So when I draw trend lines like this, as I mentioned earlier, I get a lot of very, very exact entries. Now, of course, it's not always perfect, like I mentioned, but I get some very exact entries. And basically, if I would have just drawn this like this, okay, and waited for 2 candle closes above or below and a retest, so I get 2 candle closes here, I'm lucky enough to get my retest, and it goes much lower. And that's pretty much how I like to draw my trend lines, you guys. I mean, that is the basics of it. I need only 1 candle close on either side to technically invalidate my trend line or validate momentum in the other direction. So as soon as I get those 2 closes on the other side of that trend line, that tells me that there has been a shift, a local shift on that trend line. And what are trend lines? They are trends, right? So when I get a break of my trend line with 2 confirmed candle closes, many times that's going to see a momentum move in the other direction, and that's how I can capitalize. Even if it's not a full trend shift, I still usually get some sort of movement on the opposite side. And the reason for that is because the more times a trend line is touched, the more likely it is to break down. And even, like I said, if it's not a mega breakdown, what if this would have just gone like this? I wouldn't have cared. I could have looked at lower time frames, maybe the 1-day chart, caught a quick breakdown and closed when the momentum stalled, and then had my crazy retest here for actual confirmation of downside. Because if I don't get a full retest on the weekly, I would only be able to hold on a daily time frame. Now that gets into time frames, and if you're not familiar with time frames, I do have a video for that too, so make sure you watch it. I'll link it above right here in the corner. But yeah, so that's basically how I do it. 2 closes. I like to hug those candle bodies tight. It gives me some really exact entries, especially on diagonals, okay? Like this, you could see I could go really tight here, okay? Validates my rules. I get some nice touches here, and I get a break here and a retest, and that's where I could get in, okay? So simple enough. I get my nice momentum stalls, and I basically can get out. Thanks everyone for watching my video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to leave a comment below if you have suggestions of future videos, or if you just want to give me some feedback on this one. Make sure you're following me on Twitter at NebraskanGooner and on YouTube at NebraskanGooner as well. Hit that subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.